So what is chemical thermodynamics? It is thermodynamics applied to the study of the reactions in chemistry. Those are processes. Okay. So is there something called physical thermodynamics then? No. There is nothing called physical thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is one subject in which physicists as well as chemists and even biologists are interested in. When it is applied to chemistry, then it is called chemical thermodynamics. Basically, thermodynamics is of two parts, classical and statistical. What is classical thermodynamics? It is thermodynamics dealing with macroscopic objects or macroscopic systems. And statistical thermodynamics is that branch of thermodynamics which deals with microscopic objects or microscopic systems. What is that? That is the molecular level of matter. Now, are these two branches completely different? Yes. Not very much different, but this is a question which strikes our mind when we see that the properties we apply to classical thermodynamics cannot be directly applied to statistical thermodynamics. So whatever we study at the microscopic level has to be modified to reach to the classical level. The properties will remain the same, but there must be some definition for distinguishing the classical level and the statistical level. Now, what are the advantages of studying this subject? The advantages are many. We can understand how to convert heat from one form, that is heat form, to another energy form, that is say either work or mechanical energy or electrical energy, as we just saw in the previous slides. Now, what will we do with this? By understanding the conversions of energy, we can build up our own machines and use them for our own advantage by understanding the laws of nature. What is that? That is how heat is converted into different forms of energy and how nature tries to establish a balance in the environment between all sorts of matter, living or non-living. What are the limitations? The limitations of thermodynamics are quite a lot. First of all, thermodynamics does not tell us anything about the rate of the reaction. It neither tells us about the mechanism by which a process is followed by a system to reach from state 1 to state 2. It does not tell us anything about any intermediate or byproduct that is formed in the process. It only tells us about the condition of state 1 of a system and state 2 of a system, where 1 stands for the initial state, 2 stands for the final state. That's all. So these are the limitations. Now, in order to understand thermodynamics well, we must learn some terminologies which we will very often come across. One is system. What is system? It is that part of the universe which is under study with respect to thermodynamic properties. It is basically of three types: closed system, open system, isolated system. Of course, there are many other systems which we can come across as we study thermodynamics, but these are the very basic types of systems. Now, what is a closed system? A closed system is that in which there is only an exchange of energy between the system and the surrounding. An open system is that which is open to exchange of matter with the surrounding and the system. There is also energy exchange between surrounding and system. For an isolated system, there is neither exchange of matter nor exchange of energy between system and surrounding. You can see here the examples. Here is an isolated system, a bottle which is well isolated by some material from the surrounding, so that neither matter can go out from the surrounding nor energy can come in to the from the surrounding to the system or go from the system to the surrounding. The bottle is well corked. Here we see a system in which it is closed, that is just a bottle which is closed by a cork. There is only exchange of energy between the surrounding and the system. Now, what about this one? This is an open system, you can see here. This open system, the bottle is open, the water inside can evaporate, so there is exchange of matter between system and surrounding, as well as the heat which is there inside the water can go to the surrounding. Next, this is a thermos flask, an isolated system where nothing can be exchanged, neither matter nor energy. This is a cup of soup with a lid. Now, if the soup is hot, then only heat energy will be exchanged between the surrounding and the system, and no water vapor will be given out. So this is a closed system, that is only exchange of energy. So this is how we study the different types of system, or we can visualize the different types of system. Next, we have now learned what is a system and what is the surrounding. Is there anything that differentiates between the system and the surrounding? Yes, it's called a wall. You can see here the wall is there between two pieces of land. This wall is nothing but a fence. So this wall can be real and visible, as we see in this case, a fence, or it can be imaginary, as we see here. When the water falls outside from the open tap, then there is a invisible boundary or wall between the tap and this water.